Hey everybody, beautiful July 1st here in western Washington. Normally on the 1st of July we would be filming this with rain slickers and umbrella.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it would look like an episode of Deadliest Catch on July 1st, but no, it's a gorgeous summer day. And we're talking about our July series called Step Into the Story.
Step Into the Story. So we're really excited about this because we've actually totally rearranged the auditorium. Great big map of the Holy Land where we are literally going to step into the story. The creative elements and the teaching is all going to take place in the middle of the room on a map of the Holy Land. And the whole point there is to get into the story in a way that maybe we haven't done before.
To step into the story, not unlike we are stepping down the sidewalk today. So
I see the metaphor. I see what you did there.
Like to see what I did?
Yeah.
It's a professional journalist.
Yeah.
So the whole point of this is really fascinating for me as someone who spent a good portion of my adult life outside of the Christian faith. I can tell you one of the big roadblocks I had was trying to reconcile what I knew of the Old Testament story with this Jesus and this Christian faith that I encountered in my culture, because they seemed completely opposed to one another. We got this Jesus, meek and mild, who preaches love and understanding and acceptance, and then we got this Old Testament that's full of violence and blood sacrifice and wars and stuff. So so tell us what we can expect to get by stepping into the story the way we're doing it. What should we expect to learn about the Old Testament as it applies to Christian faith today?
Well, first of all, what we're going to find is that so many of the things that we appreciate about the gospel and about the Jesus life all had their beginnings there. That in fact you wouldn't have a Jesus unless you had an Old Testament, you had God's initial initiation of covenant with his people. And it didn't just start with the Jews, even before them, with Noah, with Adam and Eve. And then with Moses and Abraham, we're going to see that God is busy initiating a relationship, and he's just starting. So some of those parts of the Old Testament that grate against us, we're going to see them in the context of God is building something as he's redeeming the human race.
So now, you wouldn't necessarily say to someone who's looking into the Christian faith, as a critic or as a seeker perhaps, you wouldn't necessarily say to them, oh, just get over the Old Testament. It's easy.
Yeah.
We're kind of acknowledging here that this requires a little bit of effort to put it into context, right?
It does, because it's so far removed from us. But what we will say to the skeptic and the investigator is to say, listen, the basis on which you judge some of the events and the descriptions of the Old Testament coming out of a brutal ancient Near East culture is actually because of the Bible. So it's the Bible that's given us the lens to judge the behaviors that we see in ancient cultures and other cultures, in fact, around the world as not in line with true, godly, moral, humane behavior. So we see in this the fingerprint of God actually redeeming the human race, not God sanctioning bad behavior. And that's the beauty when you finally step into the story.
Beautiful. So we'll be doing that all through July, looking at the different covenant relationships God has, all the way from Noah through Abraham and King David. It's going to be a lot of fun, so be prepared when you get here. You're going to have to find seating's going to be a little different.
It's going to be fun.
Schedule's going to be just the same, and we're going to sit here and watch these open Jeeps and the lawnmowers. It's summery, man.
Yeah, it's a picnic. What are you doing for the 4th?
I don't know. I think we'll be blowing stuff up, just like last year.
Woo! Nice.
Yay for America!
This is what the founders would have wanted.
Hey, in Canada, what do you do on Canada Day?
This is Canada Day. Thank you very much.
It's Canada Day.
Oh, Canada! That's
go.
It's all about Canada.
We'll go have beers, out of a dog dish.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that what we do, Hoser?
No, that's not what we do.
We don't?
No, there's a Canadian flag and we have a picnic.
With the upside down maple leaf, right?
I had
Be polite.
I had to go to war with you.